Welcome back to Friend or Foe, guys. Welcome back to week 2, day 2. Today we've got Team Beep Boop versus Ruby's Light Up Slippers. Shout out to MK Strom. I'm here. My name is Chris Sunga. I'm here with Asem. Asem, what do you think of these two teams? How are you?
I'm just finally waiting for RLS to get their first win. I think this might be the game they can do it. Team Beep Boop's a little shaky lately, so, you know, maybe they can pick it up here. This is their one chance, I think.
I put 25k on RLS, so I kind of need them to win, because otherwise the odds are not looking good in my favor right now.
Well, the bans certainly aren't helping out in this case.
Yeah, well, we got Kaisa right away. At least that's what I see. We have an interesting situation right now for those who are confused at home. RLS lost their first 2 bans due to a violation in the lock-in. Nothing crazy, nothing big. It just means they locked in late or they had a switch with their lock-in roster. It's how the whole show works. It's how we make sure that everyone has enough information and stuff. So things like that happen. What's great about this format is, you know, there's a game next week. There's going to be more games throughout the entire rest of the season. This is like a 15-week tournament. So if you lose a game due to losing some bans, it's fine. It's fine. You'll get another chance next week. But that is correct. Yeah, Kaisa, Thresh, Hecarim bans coming out straight from Baby. Hecarim being first-round picks in all of our games so far. Asem, thoughts on that?
Yeah, so I mean, finally seeing it taken off the table in the first round of bans, and hopefully they'll push people on something else, a little more like, you know, the Udyr maybe, or the Lilia. But honestly, I'm just surprised we haven't seen those picks come out already, even with Hecarim being up. It's not like it's by the default the best champion in the game, but people just really like playing it, I guess. And we finally see it banned here, and maybe they'll actually pick up something completely off meta instead. Who knows? Yeah.
Who knows? Rel being taken potentially for that first pick with 5 seconds on the clock. That is the instant lock for that Rel. Rel being also one of the picks, we've seen it in Heroic a couple times, being one of the picks that takes priority. We see a lot of that. We see a lot of Seraphine, Hecarim flex, Galio flex the past few weeks for both Heroic and Mythic. But yeah, any expectations so far for this draft?
I really don't like taking Rel on 1. I think even though it's a good priority pick in the sense that it's one of the better supports in the meta right now, taking it on 1 is pretty punishable since it gives you all the options you need to draft into it. And when you're seeing RLS drafted Jinx, which, I mean, honestly, both teams are doing the same thing at this point, drafting really punishable first opens. I think Jinx on R1 is also punishable in the sense that Baby can just kind of return on Varus or something, just lane counter. But we'll see what they go into on here. The Volibear is not bad, and I definitely think that with what's up on the jungle pool, if you think that you're confident on the Volibear, it's one of the viable picks here, along with Hecarim and Lilia, like we mentioned before. Having only 1 ban is a little hard because they can't ban anything besides the Seraphine, so obviously they kind of have to rely on the fact that Baby's not going to play anything that's going to be super crazy. But I think overall this draft is, you know, could be worse for RLS, and so far both teams are sort of on even footing, I think.
Yeah, you were talking to me a little bit about draft theory in the green room a couple times whenever we were just hanging out, just watching the games. And a lot of, from what I've heard at least from either you or some other commentators, is that Mythic drafts has been just super weird lately. What's your insight on all of that?
Yeah, I think most Mythic teams have been drafting really bad for the most part. There's a few exceptions. I think SGR is consistently drafted reasonably well, and I think that Udyr has sort of had attempted good drafts, but some of their champ pool issues have led it to be pretty difficult in certain spots.
Sure.
On the other hand, I think Pog has actually drafted pretty well recently, even though their first game was pretty terrible in terms of their draft. But I think they've shown improvement, so I'm optimistic for them. But other than those teams, I think most of the teams in Mythic have struggled with drafting on just basic principles, and we see it happening consistently. Even here, like, we see blinded Jinx, and then there's no punish on 2-3 on blue side, and then they blind Ornn into Jarvan Orianna when they've shown mid, and they can kind of pick mid. There's just, I mean, it's just a free-for-all in here, and I guess we just have to see what comes out of it all at the end.
Yeah, I mean, there's a part of me that thinks that the champion pools in general, or picking champions that your players are just particularly comfortable on, plays a big factor into these drafts. That's always something we have to consider. It's not like these guys are pros or anything, and we can expect them to play any champion that works in the meta. But I do agree with you. Sometimes the draft theory, or at least the pick order of everything, has been just slightly weird. I can't attest for bans or anything like that, because these teams, they've been scrimming each other. They know what's up. They know what to ban against each other. I don't want to criticize them for that. But that would be Rel, Jarvan, Orianna, first round picks for Baby, Jinx, Volibear, Ornn on RLS. We saw Ornn last game. Thoughts on the Ornn pick?
I don't think Ornn's great, and I think especially picking it blind can be pretty rough, especially if they have an opportunity to counterpick it here. And they do ban out the Camille, but there's still plenty of other options to the Ornn, so I'd like to see them take it later in the draft if they really want to pick it. And I'm surprised to see them take it on 3 when there are other things up. Again, the opportunity to counterpick mid here, seeing the Orianna already chosen, even just counterpicking in support when they've already seen the Rel. But instead, they've allowed support to be banned out. They banned out Soraka, which is actually what Gay for Girls is pretty much played in the one game we saw, and apparently is one of their stronger picks. So we'll see what else they can go for here.
Okay. I agree with you on that. Team Baby looking a little rough off of their first week. They did get their win yesterday against HBK, which I believe everyone was kind of like, what? How did that happen, right? And HBK today, they played against Tub. Unfortunate loss for them. But Baby, I don't know. Mythic teams in general, like just seeing the standings, seeing the power rankings, everyone's just so coin flippy. I don't know who's going to win anymore, which I guess is a good thing for production. But just based off this draft right now, we already have Alistar coming out from RLS. On the side of Baby, we can already see even just the first 3 picks. They're going for these team fights. They're going for the wombo combos. Toxic Desire was really good on Elise yesterday, even though we didn't expect an Elise to ever pop up in Friend or Foe. Then again, today I never expected an Ari to pop up in Friend or Foe. I believe someone tweeted out on our account. I was like, oh my god, Ari's picked for the first time.
Yeah, but we have to wonder, I mean, like,
yeah.
you know, in this order, why are you picking Alistar on 4 when you could have picked it on 3, and then you're leaving Ornn already open and being counterpicked here? You see Vayne draft in this comp. I think Vayne's great here, right? You're looking at this team comp. They've got Volibear, they got Ornn, they got Alistar. All these big, beefy front lines that Vayne's just going to shred through. They're all melees. There's really no way to get onto her aside from, like, long-range engage from the Ornn ult. Volibear can maybe run at her, and Alistar can run at her and flash on her, but,
yeah,
again, this is just a great Vayne game in general, and, I mean, of course, I say that, I praise them for their draft there, and they immediately have to just go and pick up Shyvana. So, you know, you win some and you lose some, and Team Baby giveth and Team Baby taketh away.
Yeah, I agree with you. Perfect Vayne opportunity at this moment. Galio picked on the side of RLS. Shyvana, we've seen Baby play this before when they were on, when they were Team GG, when they were Gulag Gang. They also played Shyvana a lot. Bringing it out again today here. So based off these drafts on Baby's side, we have Rel, Jarvan, Orianna, Vayne, Shyvana. On RLS, we got Jinx, Volibear, Ornn, Alistar, Galio. Thoughts on these drafts? Who do you predict is going to take this game, Mr. Asa?
So I think RLS's draft is actually mostly solid, but the big issue they have is they're playing essentially looks like a protect the ADC comp, except they have no enchanter or anything to buff up the ADC in the backline, and it's all just frontline. So if someone breaks through that, they're just going to be dead immediately, and there's no way to peel for him beyond the Alistar or the Galio getting a taunt or a stun off. On the other hand, Baby's team has more damage, obviously, instead of just having their ADC be their primary damage source. But on the other hand, they have Shyvana and J4, and I think J4 is going to fall really behind the jungle match with the Volibear because the clear is so much slower. And on top of that, Shyvana's going to struggle quite a bit in the top lane. I think even though that Ornn's, you know, being blinded here, Shyvana's not good at the moment in particular, and I think Ornn's going to be able to just scale into the game pretty happily here.
Okay. Well, you heard wise words from Asum. I mean, I put 25k on RLS, so I'm going RLS all the way. Let's get into the game, everybody. Thank you guys so much for watching. Team Beep Boop versus RLS. We got Jaffe, Toxic Desire, Luru, Fang over Fang, and G2 Valkyrie on Baby. And over on Ruby's Light Up Slippers or Flip Flops, we have Anti, one of my favorite players on that team, Pengu Soldier, Burbs Aren't Real, MK Strom, and Jack Sander. I also just recently found out that it's not like Mick Strom, it's like MK Strom. It apparently stands for Mario Kart. So I guess he's like a competitive Mario Kart player. I don't know. Interesting names, I guess.
Yeah, and I mean, to be honest, as an ADC player, I obviously tend to focus on the bot lane matchups a bit more than average, I think. But in this game in particular, that's really going to come down to which ADC is better, I think, in a lot of these fights. Just because that all of Team Beep Boop's team comp really just relies on this Vayne being able to stay alive, get through this front line, and just shred through all of these tanks. Whereas on RLS's side, it basically just comes down to Jinx staying alive and being able to free fire in the back line. And whichever one of those ADCs is going to be able to stay alive longer and get the peel from their team that they need is just going to determine the fight. The advantage our Beep Boop have here is that Orianna can also be a viable damage threat. You know, Shyvana goes AP here, which I don't think she will because she's going press the attack. She could have been as well. But in this case, it's really going to come down to the Orion Vayne versus the Jinx and potentially the Volibear a bit.
Okay, well, we'll see how these two AD carries play. Fang over Fang playing in Season 2. Originally, he was the jungler, now playing AD carry on this role. And I was talking to him a little bit before the whole season started. He just says, you know, he prefers the role. He prefers those type of champions, which you can't blame. I was the same way. I loved mid lane when I played Season 2 BBZ, but I just enjoy the support champions more. They're just more fun to me. So I guess that's why I swapped. But I was saying this on the lounge last night, but a lot of the times I feel like this has happened every season now. During the first 2 to 3 weeks, everyone has some kind of roster swap situation, or, you know, they lose a game and they're thinking, we should change things up. We should, let's just try this roster. I think I could be a better mid or something like that, right? But RLS, even though, you know, all odds are stacked against them, they've had a great time so far talking to them. I've only met them a couple times. They've had some of the greatest mental, I think, out of all the teams.
Yeah, I think they're really looking to improve a lot throughout the course of this tournament, so hopefully we can see some improvement come out already by this game. I think, honestly, they've made some pretty big strides. Even though their draft here is a little bit strange, it's still better than what they've held in previous games, stuff like the Aphelios first pick, and I think Jinx is sort of a strictly better pick for the playstyle they want to go for here, having their AD carry player as a pretty stable laner, be able to just scale into the game and actually have a meaningful impact in the later parts of the game. So we'll see what he's able to do here, and I think, especially the way these lanes are going so far, they're going to have to be able to get to the mid game, because mid lane's going to be a rough time playing this melee to range matchup.
Yeah. Oh, Burbs aren't real. Tries to go for a trade, even though Luru, I believe, has advantage throughout this entire trade process. Misses the Q there, so doesn't get as much damage as he could have. So nice trade. Pengu Soldier's actually invading Toxic Desire's blue buff right now. He did steal it. That is going to give a little bit of an advantage over to RLS. Top side anti was ready for any action should anything occur. Good on them for that. Yeah, I mean, RLS, like, one of the coolest things that I found about RLS is that, like, even though they're, whether it's power rankings or standings, they look like the worst team in the league. I've seen them consistently, like, ask for help from other teams, whether it's Heroic or Mythic, asking, what do you think about this? How did we play wrong here? I think after the matches yesterday, they played SGR. Ended up being a loss, and I just remember seeing them in the friend or foe channel all in one call together. I think they were all playing something. I don't know what was going on.
Yeah, actually, we were on the call talking to them. Me and a couple of Mythic players talking to them about just like itemization, drafting, ways they can look to improve, and I think they really took a lot of that. And I think they have an idea of where they can go from here. So I'd like to see what they can actually do in this game to show that they understood those ideas, and at least show a little bit of improvement. And I think so far they've looked pretty good. This game could be a little rough though. Looks like he's out.
Yep, nice dodge from Toxic Desire's Flash E combo. Anti. Nothing wasted here. Pengu Soldier's actually up here. Yeah, counter gank's here. Toxic Desire is actually a level down and has no flash.
He doesn't have E or flash.
Think he has combo. Wait, that's a lie. He does have E. There's a TP coming through. Anti is trying to get some damage. Jaffe is going to run really low. He's dead right there. That's going to be Pengu Soldier and Anti. And now Burbs aren't real is here. This is actually a 3v2. Toxic Desire is still waiting, trying to see if he can find an opening. Luru flashes away. Double kill for Pengu Soldier. RLS, give me my channel points. Thank you very much.
And we're seeing the gap come through already in the jungle position here. The Volibear just clears so much faster and so much more powerful in these early skirmishes than the Jarvan. Tries to make the gank happen. Orange just easily ease out of it, and then Volibear comes back up after getting that free invade because he was able to get prio. Shyvana just struggles so much to wave clear. He wasn't able to protect his blue buff for his jungler, and then his jungler being behind results in that gank completely failing. It's just such a disaster for them, and I think, honestly, RLS can snowball this really hard now through the top side, because Volibear is just so far ahead now. He's going to clear outrageously faster than Jarvan.
Those TPs that came out, that TP that came out from Burbs Aren't Real, that never happened before. It happened before in maybe scrims or maybe 1 or 2 matches where it just went poorly, but this time actually works out perfectly fine. So you can kind of see RLS's training starting to provide results for us, which is fantastic. And I think that's great that they're consistently asking for help from other Mythic players or any players that are better than them.
Yeah, and that's more impactful than you might think it was, because on top of the 2 kills they got there, when the initial gank, Jarvan ends up burning flash for nothing, and then on the re-engage there, after that entire fight goes down, TPs are committed from both mid laners, but Luru ends up flashing, whereas Burbs Aren't Real doesn't. And the top lane, both flashes are used, but in jungle position, they use flash on Volibear, but now they have a flash advantage in mid lane. Right, so now they actually have a flash advantage in mid lane, and they have both TPs in top lane up. So realistically, because they're up 2 TPs now, or up 1 TP in top lane there originally, right? They win off the TP advantage there, and then they're able to snowball that through a flash advantage, and now they just end up with a summoner spell advantage in mid lane. So now they can actually look around mid lane with the Volibear to punish this Orianna.
Yeah, that whole play, even though only 2 kills came out of it, numbers-wise, it doesn't look that great, or it doesn't look as impressive, but that did so much for the map right there. RLS has so much momentum. You could even see earlier, Pengu Soldier zoned away Toxic Desire from Scuttle. I believe that's double Scuttle now for Pengu, so that means he's going to have a solid experience lead. Jaffe and Anti actually kind of walking it out or fighting it out. He's going to have to R. Pengu Soldier is here.
Remember, Jaffe has no flash.
Yep, no flash from them. Burbs Aren't Real goes for another roam top. Unfortunately, they don't get anything. Jaffe has to go to Dragon form, and that's going to be all she wrote. Only an ultimate.
Yeah, so I think a little bit of a miscommit there by RLS. They really should have been looking around the mid lane to punish this Orianna with no flash. When Shyvana has ult up, she's pretty easily able to get out of there with the unstoppable ult jump.
There we go. Oh, wow. Oh, so sorry about that. We just randomly got there. There's going to be a big fight bot lane while Jaffe kills Anti. G2 Valkyrie gets flashed on by MK Strom. Let's see if he can get it. Nice W from MK. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Well played by them. Fang Fang is actually also here. Sorry, that wasn't Fang Fang. That was Toxic Desire.
A little bit. Oh, the traps though. They walk right into him.
Yeah. All right. We're good. We're good. Nice solo kill, or sorry, 2v2 kill from the bot lane from RLS. Toxic Desire. This gives him the go button for this dragon. He knows that that RLS's bot lane can't respond to this. They decide to go with it for go for this dragon with Luru. Burbs Aren't Real, trying to maybe look for a steal with a Q.
Remember, Orianna doesn't have flash here, so they can look to punish her if they can get the clutch with Volibear. I don't think they have time to get over there quite in time.
Yeah, I don't think there's quite enough time yet. Pengu Soldier I love it. Pengu Soldier just lets it happen. He knows it's gone, continues to farm. Love it.
Yeah, and they don't necessarily need to contest. They won't necessarily get, a huge advantage from scaling into this game, but definitely going into the mid game with this kind of advantage on the volley bear, they don't need to force around that early dragon if they feel like they can get advantages other places on the map. I think the only real issue I have with RLS's play there is the fact they actually weren't able to pressure other points on the map because they were sort of just farming around bot jungle and standing around, rather than trying to get an advantage while they were committing 2 people to dragon there. And that's just a result of that bot lane gang pushing them into a reset.
I do want to touch on your comment earlier, going for that Shyvana play. I think that might have been, it was minutes ago, but going for that gank for that Shyvana. I mean, Shyvana is always going to be able to have some kind of out, even if she doesn't have flash, whether it's dragon or something. So yeah, I agree with you. I think they should have definitely punished the no flash on Luru. So that might have been just a simple macro mistake. No problem. They'll look at this VOD later and say, yeah, okay, we should have done for Orianna.
Yeah, so Luru and Burbs ended up matching teleports in that early play, but because of the flash commit, he had the flash advantage. But now the flash is coming back up pretty soon, and the teleports are on the same timer, so unless they can punish it in probably the next 20 seconds, it looks like it's going to fade away into nothing. That advantage is going to be essentially nullified. It's going to come down to the fact that Volibear has these 2 kills now, although even that's a little bit, neutralized by the fact that that solo kill went down in the top lane earlier.
Oh, Jaffe goes dragon right now. Anti pulls out the ulti. Let's see what happens here. Let's see if this is a full 1v1. No junglers are nearby. I'm alive. Pengu Soldier is here. Jaffe is gone. Dragon go bye-bye. Give me my 25k points. Sorry.
Yeah,
sorry,
I might
baby.
cancel a couple of autos there trying to proc the Birdle off his ult, but
Yeah.
ultimately doesn't end up mattering because Pengu's right there, just clean up the kill. And now that top side, again, when they're snowballing through it efficiently.
Yep. Toxic Desire, nice flash combo into that. That's going to be a nice R from Jarvan. McStrom goes through, MK Strom goes through. Jack Xander did pull out the ultimate. Fang over Fang, though, does just enough damage to be able to take him down.
Yeah, and this is a little bit scary now. The Vayne getting a couple of kills early is pretty scary against this team.
Yeah.
Just because they are the primary win condition. They're going to be able to shred through this stuff like the Volibear, even if he's ahead.
Yeah, Pengu Soldier, he has the huevos of God right now. He just wants to live in the jungle. He does get the blue buff. Anti is actually potentially in a little bit of trouble. Burbs aren't real here to back him up. Pengu Soldier still kind of weaving into invading that jungle. Jaffe, you might be 1v3 right now. Anti goes in right now. Nice flash away from Anti to stay alive. Jaffe goes down. Oh my goodness. Oh, and
the Jinx rocket. Just in case, he didn't go out there.
Okay, that means the score is 3-5 in favor of RLS right now. This is the first time in a while since qualifiers where RLS has actually had a pretty convincing lead so far. Let's see how far
RLS are in a great position to just win this game, to be honest. They have the Volibear pretty far ahead. Their top lane is now ahead because of that. And in addition, the mid lane with the Galio being ahead, able to neutralize the Orianna, means that the Jinx is pretty able to free fire most of these fights. So as long as Vayne isn't just allowed to survive for the entire duration of the fight and they can get onto her, stuff like the Volibear and the Galio ult, then realistically, I think they can win almost any team fight they take here.
Exactly. Pengu Soldier is 3-0-1 right now. Burbs aren't real, going for a little bit of a trade. That's actually
look at that damage.
Chunk of damage coming out of Burbs right now. Luru, you don't out-trade anymore. At least I don't think so. And yeah, Pengu Soldier 3-0-1. He's the guy that's gonna be the guy that we're gonna be looking at all these team fights, throughout all these team fights. We'll see how he dives Fang over Fang. Let's see how that goes down, because I feel like when the team fights come out, that's gonna be the big deciding factors if Pengu Soldier can complete his mission.
Yeah, in addition to making those ganks happen on the map, he's also managed to keep actually out-farming the Jarvan, just because, again, the clear speed on the Volibear is so much better. You just really struggle playing these champions that are out of the jungle meta right now because the clears are so much worse.
Mm-hmm. That is true. Great for RLS to be playing so well right now. I'm very happy for them, very proud of them. They did a lot of training. They've done a lot. They've worked really, really hard to try to be here. There's this joke behind the scenes where, sometimes RLS being in Mythic right now seems lucky.
This lane gank could be a little scary if they walk up. They don't know.
Yeah, Fang over Fang's just...
Oh, he couldn't die here.
Barely. Yeah, wait. Fang over Fang, you are literally playing with fire and you don't even know it. Pengu Soldier...
Okay, he might still... Yeah, he's dead.
That's going to be it. Fang over Fang, you have flash. You're going to have to try something. Rel goes in. Valkyrie tries to save him. Pengu Soldier takes down Fang over Fang. That's going to be MK Strom taking down Valkyrie on the Rel, who has 0 movement speed, basically, due to that attempt at a counter engage. Jaffe, in the meantime, going for the Rift Herald as a response.
Yes, now it's a huge lead in bot lane. Rift Herald really doesn't do much here. Obviously, when you're ahead, you can use the Rift Herald to snowball into maybe a turret or two, but even there, it doesn't get that much gold value. When you're this far behind, it's basically meaningless when you're getting such an advantage on the other side of the map to counteract it. So I expect RLS to be able to snowball through top and bot here and just win the game pretty easily unless they throw really hard. And honestly, of all the things I've seen from RLS, I actually don't think they made that many terrible macro calls to just completely throw the game immediately. Generally, they've struggled in their lanes, and then their transition into the mid game, getting caught out on the map. But once they get to the point where they can actually team fight, their team fights haven't been that bad.
Yeah, I agree with you. They look like they're on the same page. They look like they trust each other. There's enough cohesion here. On the side of Team Baby, I don't know how much cohesion, I don't know how much they've been playing together. Anti taking a little bit of damage from Jaffe. I think that's all going to be, yeah, it's just going to be healed up. No worries right there. Oh, but actually, two members from the side of Baby right now.
Caught.
Fang over Fang. You actually had to use Flash this time. You saved it from last time, but 4 members of RLS are here to punish your misstep. Valkyrie goes down. Fang over Fang goes down. MK Strom takes the kill. Double kill for him.
And that's now 4 kills on the Jinx.
Mm-hmm.
He is just insanely fed now on top of the Volley Bear, and honestly, like, I don't see a way back into this game. Again, unless there's some major throw and Lure's able to hit something like a 5-man Shockwave. Just the raw stats and the amount they're able to frontline for this massively fed Jinx at this point, with the Volley Bear being this far ahead, I don't see how they're going to get through him.
Yeah, agree. And I did love the response, but go ahead and give me that replay. Break this down for me. There's not a whole lot that happened top lane, but we're going to see bot lane.
Yeah, we just see Thing overstep, right? He's just too far up here. He can't be walking up here, and they know that, and they go immediately on him. They commit the Alistar flash. He flashes out, and they follow flash on the Volley Bear here, and they get the stun off, and then he's just dead.
Yeah, nice exhaust. Nice flash WQ combo from Gay for Girls.
Yeah, it's a really great look from the Alistar there. See that he's out of position there, catch him on there, force the flash, because once the flash is forced, it's completely free for Volley Bear to go and flash stun him, because he can't respond in any way, and even though with the tumble there, he doesn't get out of range.
Yeah, I do like the response from Baby, though. They did lose a lot bot lane, but right now they're looking to take the one objective that they can take topside. And
they're sharing this with 3 people, right? They're not getting that much gold out of this individual members, and honestly, they might
Correct.
even finish the tower until pretty late here. Turret playing already falls, so they don't get the full turret before turning play it. Or maybe they do.
No, yeah, they got it. Yeah.
Even so, this is just shared among 3 members, and honestly, you're sharing all the XP from this minion wave while they're able to push mid and bot lanes here. You're losing out on XP on the map, and total gold difference is pretty neutral, honestly.
Mm-hmm. I like the attempted response, though. There wasn't really nothing they could do. I mean, Luru did have TP, but I don't think a TP there would have saved Baby in that situation. Maybe if there was double TP available, but it didn't look like there was. They did kill Anti up top. Took 3 members from Baby to make that happen, and the tower. So 1 tower lead over the side of Team Baby, but still gold lead and kill lead over the side of RLS.
Yeah, and you have to remember they lost a plate in mid and 2 plates in bot for that too, so it ends up being only about 2 plates of lead on the tower there, and on top of that, they also are losing the waves in mid, so I think they actually might even be down gold after that, although the kill might neutralize it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. RLS, you're actually playing amazing right now. Not a lot of people have died. The jungler and mid laner for the side. Oh, Pengu Soldier's actually here. Let's find out what happens. Luru might get dove right now. Jinx Rocket goes wide.
Oh.
Luru? Not enough damage. Pengu Soldier took a few too many tower shots there.
I think Burbs could tank that and killed him.
Yeah, I think so too. That might have been a play that they haven't practiced or they're not comfortable doing. So
yeah, and Burbs still has flash up, remember. So at this point, he has flash advantage in mid, TP advantage in mid, and top lane there is still a TP advantage for a few more seconds. So they're having a pretty big power play on the map here, and they should be able to make a lot happen off this. At the very least, forcing Visioner on top side when they can't really contest it.
Now, the real question for me is what's going to happen in these 5v5s, because we've seen it in all of our Mythic games so far.
I really don't like this TP from Burbs. I think TPing mid here to lose your TP advantage just to catch 1 wave is...
Okay.
It's a little unfortunate, but I think hopefully they're able to make up for it in the fact that he does get that wave, and then eventually he will be able to capitalize on the flash advantage he has still, so hopefully he'll make something of it.
Yeah, his ulti coming up fairly soon. Yeah, like I was saying, the 5v5s are something that have turned all of our Mythic games so far, so we're going to see what happens. Who's really better at these 5v5s? I think both teams are going to look to eventually 5v5. I can't imagine teams are avoiding each other in any way. Jaffe.
And in the 5v5, right, Baby's just like, they're too far behind, honestly, unless they massively outplay. They're just going to end up getting rolled.
I mean, that's going to be the next big true test, I feel like, for RLS. Oh, Jaffe, you might get caught here. Jaffe, you have flash and you have ulti, so you have a way out right now. Jaffe has had to burn his dragon like 3 times now. Re-engage from Toxic Desire. Pengu Soldier had to run away, but actually Burbs aren't real is here. Lure on the backside. She could go for a shockwave, but Jaffe has to flash away, but flashes the wrong way.
Shockwave.
Okay, I love it. Nice dodge away from the shockwave. Luru, you're the only one left. Everyone might start chasing you.
That's still 2 kills over.
Jesus, RLS.
Yeah, I think going back in there on the Jarvan was just complete overcommitment. There's no way they win that. Even with Lure coming up, it's still a 3v3.
Yeah, I like the attempt. You had Wombo combo potentially. You probably should have hesitated just a little bit there. Something you can iron out in the future, of course. But RLS get the advantage from all of those kills. And that means RLS move on to push down this mid tower.
Yeah, and Lura really can't hold this very well. He
Yeah.
can try to clear the wave with this ball a little bit, but I mean, this is.
I mean, Jack could
eventually.
dive at this point. Actually, Toxic Desire here.
Yeah, no, if he walks up to the tower, he can definitely die, but they need to push a few more waves before they can realistically make the dive happen and actually get the tower off it.
Yeah, you can start to see where everyone is moving on the mini-map. No one is particularly paying a whole lot of attention to mid lane from the side of Team Beep Boop. That top lane still pushing strong
Toxic's on the
since they got
ward.
that tower. Yep, Toxic Desire does get
They
caught
know he's
out.
around bot side. Burb should be totally fine
Gives
here. and they have power
RLS
play
the
mid.
information. Fang trying to get some damage onto Burbs aren't real. Making sure that if he ults into a fight, that he'll be like 50% HP.
Yeah, I'm not sure why MK Strom just backed there. It looked like he was trying to match the back from Lure there, but I don't. He could definitely push the wave and then reset to force the wave to crash and lose another wave on mid for Lure's side.
I think it might have been the
Even
pressure
so, I
from
think they can,
Dragon Timer.
They don't need to force every little advantage here as much as they probably should, just because they're so massively ahead. All they need to do is wait for these dragons to come out, force around the objectives, and they'll just win.
Yeah, I agree with you. I believe they might have backed just because they saw the timer and were thinking, we gotta back, we gotta back, we gotta back. Easy, I feel like easy thing to commonly habitualize is backing just 30 seconds or a minute before Dragon, but
And this dragon's just going to go
It is.
down unless Toxic can get him for the steal.
yeah. Oh, Toxic Desire's combo actually gets interrupted. That's a nice
Shockwave does no
shockwave.
damage.
Yeah, it doesn't do any damage yet, but Burbs aren't real. It's actually going to be taken down here. Oh, he's still 1 HP. Did he just... Okay, for a second there, I thought he just died. But the rest of Baby goes down to Jaffe... Or, sorry, to MK
Yeah,
Strom
but
and
Jinx is still
Anti.
alive.
Jinx is still alive right now. That's a nice flash over from Fang over Fang. Nice potential outplay. Luru versus Anti. These are the only members remaining. Both sides just going to handshake it. We got the 5v5, and 4 people on both sides died.
Yeah, Fang over Fang's positioning in the fight was really good. He was able to dodge out on most of the engage, and then he was just completely free-firing on the backside.
Yeah, let's take a look again at this replay. Go ahead, break it down for me, brother.
Yes, I mean, they start up the dragon, which I think is good here, and realistically, the only way they're going to be able to get this dragon if it goes down low is looking for the steal with Jarvan, because they can't look to engage on the fight without them looking for the turn off the dragon the first time. If they engage on the fight, they just simply don't do enough fast enough to not lose the dragon at all. And I think they did basically what they could do here, looking for this fight. Xander's a little bit forward from his team, but he able to walking back. And then I think the biggest issue for RLS here is just that Fang over Fang goes completely untouched in this fight, right? This 3-man shockwave happens. He's still full HP in the back here. Standing there, Ornn ult goes down. He's still standing off the side. He gets knocked up, but no one follows up in the Ornn knockup. Like, he's totally fine. He gets this last auto from Burb and kills him. And then, like, he's full HP with the Ori here. It becomes, you know, pretty even fight in this 2v2.
Yeah, Fang over Fang played that really well. I think the big mistake from RLS there is that the Volibear ulti didn't go for Fang over Fang at all, even though that's one of, you know, their most powerful diving tools at the moment. It went for potentially trying to dodge that shockwave. It went on the Orianna there instead of Fang over Fang, and I think that might have been the crucial mistake RLS made.
Yeah, and once Orianna commits the shockwave, right, she's used a lot of her value in that fight, so you really should be coming for the consistent damage source in the vein rather than the Orianna one she's already used that big ultimate. So I think that that was really the big mistake there, to not catch Fang out on the first time when they went for the engage. But on top of that, I think that one of the things that really went poorly in that fight for them was the fact the Ornn ult actually hit Fang over Fang. They had a CC on him for a moment, but no one was there to follow up, and so he was just able to walk away from it.
Factual. And the rest of Baby is actually here before RLS, which means another fight's gonna happen. Anti-shockwave goes wide. This means RLS can push the go button. Jack Xander gets a knock up onto the Jarvan, oh sorry, onto Valkyrie right there. Valkyrie had to jump off the horse. He's back on his horse. Exhaust
Jinx is here now, so now it's even harder.
This is another 5v fight that just happened back to back. Toxic Desire
I don't think they
really
can fight
low.
this. RLS will just crush them with no shockwave.
Yeah, RLS, just take the dragon. That's it. Baby, just leave it. It's fine. Go away. They want this. I can see it.
They might look for the steal here, but I mean, yeah, they can't even look for it. They'll just suicide for it if they try.
Okay. Okay. We're good.
I don't know what's going on with this TP. This is a little bit late.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I guess they're looking for a Rift Herald play right here, or potentially looking to just push down that mid tower so they can't react to this Rift Herald play. But looks like they won't go for it. It's actually 19 minutes and 40 seconds, so there's no point to it.
They have Siobhan also. They
members.
can't walk up to the tower. This should be the mid tower going down unless they commit more members over. But they are rotating for it, so they can defend now.
Pengu Soldier actually has a fantastic flank right here. He could be catching 3 of them. Jack Xander's here. Jaffe. Oh, Jaffe was supposed to get knocked up right there, but nice dragon form from him. That's going to be a nice even trade. Pengu Soldier tries to go for it.
Shockwave again.
Goes, misses again. Everyone's flashing Shockwave. Pengu Soldier goes into the air and leaps up and kills the rest of Team Baby. MK Strom takes down Luru. That's 3 kills for RLS. 8-18 in favor of Ruby's light up slippers. And now they're going to go to Baron.
Yeah, and Luru looked for the flash shockwave on the backline and try to kill MK Strom up before he could free fire in the rest of the fight, but then MK Strom just flashed the shockwave on reaction and ends up turning the fight for them. Incredible play from him. Now they're just able to take free Baron, and this should be honestly pushing towards the end of the game here.
The focus you can see on this man. MK Strom has been looking for a win this entire season. You could see it. It was in his grasp. That flash was something that he could only really do if he was really, really focused and in the zone. So congrats to him. Well done.
Yes, they reset off this Baron. This is already a huge gold lead now, up 3.2k. And with this kind of team comp, that kind of gold lead being concentrated on the Jinx and the Volley Bear, on top of the Ornn items eventually coming through, honestly, this is kind of deceiving because I think this game is almost unwinnable now for Baby unless they're able to get a massive shockwave off to kill off the Jinx in the beginning of a fight or something. But with the way he's been playing so far, I don't see that happening.
Yeah, I think Baby tried to go for a desperate reaction to get that mid tower since they knew they lost the dragon. It was a little hesitant. I feel like that's why the TP came out, but Pengu Soldier with the immediate reaction. Fang over Fang and Valkyrie weren't there yet to be able to support their teams, so in the end, RLS just made the right call.
Yeah, so Baby gets a little bit lucky that this is Cloud Soul, so it ultimately probably won't cause the end of the game if they're able to get to Soul here, but I'm not even sure the game's going to get to Soul. With Baron pushing down mid at this point, they're probably going to be able to crack at least a couple towers here, and they forced a couple more team fights around these dragons, even just before Soul Point. If they lose more team fights and take another Baron, they could just lose the game.
Yeah, Anti is actually here on the flank. Right, this is a fantastic flank right now. We're going to see what happens from the side of RLS.
Oh, nice, they're all dead.
From everyone. Oh, okay, Shockwave goes through, but it's not going to be enough damage. Valkyrie goes down. Jaffe and Fang are the only ones left. Jack Xander with 1 HP. He's fine.
He takes no damage.
He's chilling. Yeah, he takes 0 damage with that Alistar ulti, and RLS has 21 kills. Only 2 members from Beep Boop are alive to protect this tower. They're going to take it. No problem. Pengu Soldier's going to farm up their jungle. This should be inhib, but yeah, it's safer play. It's fine. Makes sense.
Yeah, I would like to see them take at least inhib tower there, if not the full inhib, just because giving them the inhib this early might give them the XP funnel through mid lane, but even so, getting the reset off here with this kind of gold advantage they got from those kills on top of the towers they already took in mid lane, we'll just put them in an even better position to fight the next dragon here. And again, this snowball just keeps on rolling. Okay,
RLS, now's your next big test. We haven't seen you take an early lead in a really long time in this season. We saw it in qualifiers for a little bit against SGR, but since you joined the season, you haven't had the best early game. You got the early game, you got the mid game. Let's see how RLS's end game goes
Fang's
down
caught.
in FFS. Fang over Fang gets caught right there. Nice slows, nice stuns from the side of RLS. Pengu Soldier goes for the dive. Valkyrie tries to counter engage. Jaffe has to flash away. Pengu Soldier's chasing him down.
Dead.
He doesn't care about these towers. He goes for the punch in, and that's going to be RLS taking 3
They still
more
have Baron
kills.
buff. This could just be the top inhib now.
This could be the game. I'm pretty sure
they
could
could
run
end
this
if
down.
they go for it. The question is, can Orianna clear the wave? And I think she has enough power in her shockwave if she really wants to clear at least one wave. So the question is if she can delay long enough.
Yeah. Team Beep Boop, this is your last stand right here. A loss here doesn't mean anything big in the standings or anything like that. It's a long season, but RLS finally looking good.
So they should rotate to mid and take mid inhib here, and then I think they can look to reset off of that. But honestly, they probably can't end.
Yeah, I think it's safer to just go for this tower and then reset. Maybe inhib if they really want to. MK Strong,
they can definitely take the inhib here. Shyvana's not coming up for a few seconds.
Yep, that's going to be a nice reset for them. So much gold going to be on the side of RLS right now. Oh, but Toxic Desire tries to go back in on Anti. Anti has to flash out. Actually, I didn't believe he flashed there.
Oh, they missed the Ornn. Maybe they could have actually the lure there.
Yeah, had that Ornn ulti gone through. Toxic Desire goes for a repeat engage. This is a back-to-back fight. Another shockwave hits all of them. This is actually huge for Baby. No one is on Fang over Fang right now. Fang over Fang takes over this fight. That was what they needed. That's what they need to get back into this game. They got experience. They get gold from that. 12 to 24. They potentially saved themselves a couple minutes here.
Yeah, so they are going to be able to pick up this dragon off the back of that fight, and that's going to delay the soul point for Team RLS. But I think ultimately this fight is just kind of delaying the inevitable, and they need to pull it off a couple more times if they really want to stay in this game. It's nice that all the kills go to the Vayne, because she is able to get them, enough damage to shred through this front line a lot faster than she was previously. She was really struggling to get through the Volley Bear, even with all that true damage loaded on the front of her kit. And I think, in this fight, she was able to free fire so easily because they used all their cooldowns committing to that inhib fight.
Right.
And then committing taking the mid inhib. But realistically, they should have just let the Ornn die and not committed back to the fight once they were trying to reset there. Because they already were at item disadvantage at that point. Or at least a larger item disadvantage than they would have been otherwise if they'd had the opportunity to reset.
Agree with you on that. Yeah, they should have just let Anti die right there. That was a nice catch from Toxic Desire. I think RLS should have just hand shook it. But nice counter engage. That does mean 5v5s are winnable for Baby at this moment, and that's what's going to ring in their heads in the next few minutes. That's how they're potentially going to save this game. They need more fights like that, but so many conditions have to be met for Baby to win these fights. RLS needs to have used all their cooldowns a previous fight, and Baby, I guess, just save or have enough CDR to be able to do another back-to-back fight.
Yeah, winnable is a strong word for it because that was off the back of them getting aced.
Right.
So I think if they get aced again, they aren't going to get the opportunity to take another fight off the back of that off the respawn because they'll just lose the game.
Yeah, agreed. Death timers were favorable for Team Beep Boop right there.
Ooh,
There's
it's a nice
actually
TP
a
flank, though.
TP flank, 2 TPs coming out. The rest of
Oh, they
RLS
see
actually
it.
split here, so let's see what happens. Toxic Desire trying to go through. Everyone is split at
Nice
the moment.
flash off MK. Show he's free fire on the back line.
Oh my goodness, but the rest of RLS destroys Baby in that fight. Fang over Fang at just about 25% HP. Pangu Soldier looking to take him down. Luru doing whatever it takes to keep him alive.
He's dead.
Oh, Memk Strom gets the snipe. That's going to be the tower. That should
That's
be the game.
That should be the game. They can go through mid. Minions are already in the base.
Let's see it. Luru has to flash away. Let's
They should just
see
tank this
where
turret
they
and walk
go.
through. They don't even need to clear this wave. They can just walk through the mid lane.
Yep. Looks like they're doing it, but they're just, they're a little slow there. They have some slows on them. Yep, this could be the game. Let's see if Beep Boop can respond, but
I mean,
RLS
they can't
is
do
going
anything.
for
It's
the
just
front
Luru
right
and
now.
Valkyrie's swing up in a second, but I mean, like, they just need to auto
Exactly.
the Nexus here. They don't have time.
Yep, that's it. This is game. RLS take down Team Beep Boop, their first win of the season. Congratulations, Ruby's Light Up Sketchers. Great game.
I always believed in them.
Yeah, give me my channel points. Oh, yeah. Give me my channel points. Feels good. Yeah, great game from RLS. You know, one of those things where we talk about it like 30 million times on the show, but due to the format, it's okay if you get a loss here. It's fine. You get more chances. You'll get a rematch in a month. For those of you who don't know, everybody gets to play their same opponent 1 month afterwards. So a month from now, Baby will get another chance at RLS. But that being said, everyone on RLS played amazing. MK Strom, you can see his damage right there. He was popping off this game.
Yeah, no, he did a great job staying safe from those engages. In the last fight there, the Jarvan ulted on top of him and a couple of other players on the team, but he was able to flash out and stay safe and keep firing on the front line, and honestly just got through them so quickly with the lead he had in the early game going into the mid game, and he got even more kills, got more fed. As long as he stayed alive and got 3 to 4 autos off and backline those fights, he was able to get the resets and just carry every single team fight, to be honest, as long as he had the front line for him at least.
Yeah, fantastic play from RLS. And obviously, the stereotype is that RLS is supposed to be like the worst team at Mythic or whatever. But honestly, some teams have been rating them not last place, whether it's 6th or 5th or 7th. And when I've asked some of the players, you know, what do you think of RLS? One player in particular comes to mind that says, oh, RLS is going to destroy Team Baby. And that player was Fang over Fang that said that. So I guess he was right. So he won something today.
Yeah,
Anyway.
It's a nice consolation prize for him, I guess. He
Yeah.
did have an okay game on the vein here, but ultimately I think it comes down to just the comp difference. Even though that RLS's draft was a little bit strange in the sense that they didn't really have any other damage besides the Jinx, and they didn't have any way to really empower him with an enchanter or anything, it still is better than having Jarvan and Shyvana. I mean, Jarvan just got so massively outpaced in the early game, and Shyvana just felt so useless outside of being able to get that one solo kill early on.
It happens. Yeah. I mean, that being said, RLS played great. Fang over Fang, you had some shining moments right there. Team Beep Boop. Nothing to worry about for that loss. You guys will get them next time. You'll have more chances, more weeks to practice. I do want to take control of the stream for just a second and make a quick announcement for anybody who is watching. The next match is Team Udyr versus Team A-Click. However, due to a weird scheduling issue from Team Ace, Team A-Click had to forfeit their match, which means there will be no match next. Game 4 will not happen. It was a forfeit, which means Udyr takes it. We'll be going to the lounge after the interview, but thank you guys so much for watching Team RLS take down Team Beep Boop. Congratulations to them once again. In just a couple seconds, just a couple minutes, we'll take a quick interview with our winners. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Hello, folks. Chris Edgeworth again on the interview desk. I am joined by Pengu Soldier from the victorious Ruby Light Up Sketchers. How's it feel, my man? That was the big W.
Oh, my heart is racing. It's so pumping. Like, my team has come a long way to get there. Like literally when we got that victory, like we all let out a scream of victory. It was wonderful.
It was cathartic for many of the gamblers in the Twitch chat as well. So, well done. Talk to me a little bit, if you would, about so far your experience in Mythic. You folks finally pick up your first win after taking 3 losses. What has it been like being in the league so far? And yeah, just talk to me about your experience.
You know, we didn't expect like the circumstances to for us to like get here. Like we didn't expect our schedules to not line up with like Heroic League, but with just how some of our schedules have went, it was like better for us to come to Mythic League. And you know, like we didn't go in with like the eyes of like we're gonna stomp everyone. We definitely were just like, wow, this is a mountain we're gonna have to climb. And like obviously with our like first few games, we really displayed that we were climbing a pretty big mountain, but like it comes to show that we can still pull something off with this most recent game.
Yeah, this is certainly your statement that you can do some damage in this league for sure, and that other teams shouldn't be taking you as lightly as they might. You were integral in getting this win, I felt like, especially with the pressure you're putting on the Siobhan and top lane. What was it like in game for you, and the pressure you're putting on your lanes?
Like it was just like it was a secondhand feeling. Like I knew this was like going to happen. This was something I knew from the beginning. I didn't even tell my teammates. I was just like, something's gonna happen in top, and we're gonna snowball off of it somehow. Even though like our comms were like, yo, we need to like be playing around bot for the most part this game, I was like, something's gonna happen in top, and we're gonna like snowball this game hard. And then it happened, and then we went off. It was just like it was one interaction, and then it was just like, okay, well, we won that top. I'm gonna go do something funny in the jungle. Did something funny in the jungle. And then I was just like, wait, I'm doing something. I'm not being a pushover jungle like I was like the last few games. I'm like actually putting stuff together.
See, that's it's that kind of as I must unfortunately borrow from Fang Over Fang, that BDE that I think was a big part of why you guys came out with this big win. Thank you, Soldier. I want to thank you for joining us for an interview. Any final words before we step away?
Yes. There's a saying that my friends all like to say whenever we get a monumental victory like this. As you'll see in the chat, and a lot of people will probably be saying, another dub for the Ruby League server.
There it is, folks. Another dub for the Ruby League server. Thanks, folks. Thank you, Pengu Soldier, for joining us for the interview. Folks, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with our FOF Lounge. So don't touch that browser, and we'll be right back.